Okay, and we've started recording. Yeah, welcome everyone. This is my first Team Elevate business presentation, which I've created over the last few weeks actually. I put this together because I really want to, I want to introduce you guys to something which I'm really passionate about, and that is it's creating Team Elevate. And what Team Elevate is it's a way of helping people with their health, and it's a way of helping people with their income as well. And the way we do that is through an online business. Team Elevate's my brand, and we've been running for about 18 months now. I think there's 14 of us on the team. And we use the Juice Plus virtual franchise as our kind of business in a box. And I'd like to share with you some of the information about that so that you can kind of understand how it all works. But this is a part-time online business, and it's something that you can take with you wherever you go. And I think that when you look at the current state of the world, which I'm going to talk to you a little bit about in a minute, I think it just fits so brilliantly well, you know, and I'm really introducing this to people that I care about, I love, my friends, my family, helping them with their health and helping them to make a little bit of extra money as well if they want to do that or need to do that too. This is always also one of the easiest ways to become an entrepreneur. So it's really an open opportunity for anyone that's interested. I'd like to talk a little bit about timing, because if you were to, say, bring in a mobile phone, let's say a smartphone, if you're going to bring in a smartphone company now, the thing with smartphones is that they've been around for years, and like 6 billion people have got them now. So if you look on this graph, like the smartphone industry is very mature. Whereas if you look at food supplements or the health industry, people in the world, certainly the Western world right now, are more aware of their health than ever before. And I really believe that we're kind of down here in the infancy stage. So I think from a timing perspective, we're in exactly the right spot. Now, there's a couple of trends that are going on in the world at the moment. One of them is that population's increasing. Like, we all know that. And with that, there's also more technology, and technology is creating more pollution. There's more people, more cars. There's just more pollution everywhere in the water, and in the soil, on our plants and vegetation and stuff like that. And this has a health effect on us. You know, whether you like it or not, whether you realize it or not, we are affected by a lot of these different pollution situations. And the other thing is that, I mean, I just found out last week that Apple, they've just pulled 60,000 people out of their production line industry, and they're going to replace them with robots. And how many of you have been in a local supermarket recently, and they've got, you know, instead of having people at the tills, they're replacing people with machines. And so you've got this like increase in population, and you've got a reduction in the amount of work that's available. And the thing with the Juice Plus virtual franchise is that it's kind of a solution to both of these issues. Like, it offers people the opportunity to have their own business that gives them employment, but it also helps them overcome a lot of the health issues that are associated with many of the pollution aspects. Now, my story, well, I've been a professional climber for the last 16 years, and I'm still a professional climber, and I love it. It's great. It gives me a chance to go on cool adventures. I travel around the world. I've been to 63 countries. But like, more recently, I'm thinking, well, okay, so Tim, what are you going to do next? You know, you're 40 years old, you might live till you're 100. What are you going to do in the next 60 years? I could be a professional climber for maybe 10 years or another 20 years, who knows? But the thing is that I don't know, and I'm not in control of it. And also, like, you know, it's pretty hard on your body. A lot of people that I know that are older than me, their bodies are, you know, they've got arthritis, or they've got different issues with them. And, you know, base jumping, I did a lot of that too, and a lot of my mates aren't here anymore. And I'm really kind of looking for a sort of a plan B. Something else I've been doing is I do a lot of talks at schools. You can see I've got some apples up there. You know, I've been like talking to people about health and inspiring them to do activity. And I've done over 100 talks all around the UK and some in America and Canada too. And I'm also the patron of a charity called Breath Takers. And Breath Takers, it helps kids with a disease called bronchiolitis obliteratus. And it's a breathing disorder, which is like, they haven't found a cure for it yet. So, you know, some of the money I get for talks, I pass on to Breath Takers. And it's very much my intention to put a percentage of whatever we make in Team Elevate towards Breath Takers so that they can benefit from the expanding business. So Juice Plus, it really, one of their mottos is inspiring healthy living around the world. And it just absolutely fits in with me and my ethos and, like, you know, inspiring kids to eat healthily and also to, you know, to do exercise as well. So, I mean, it's like a perfect match, really. About 18 months ago, I tried one of our food plans called Transform 30. And I've been at the same sort of climbing level all my life, certainly for the last 15 years. And I've really found it difficult to break through that. And I tried Transform 30, which is a combination of a whole load of different things. I tried it for 30 days. And at the end of it, I was like, wow, I feel amazing. So I climbed my hardest rock route of my life. I climbed my hardest ice route in my life. And then I went and did this international competition in the UK, which was supported by Red Bull. And I won it. And I've never won an international competition with some of the best ice climbers in the world. And I totally believe the reason why I won it is because I was just way more healthy than the other competitors. You know, there's a difference between being fit and being healthy. And I think you can get healthy by what you put in your mouth. So I was just like, hang on a minute, this stuff's cool. You know, I really want to, you know, talk to my friends about this and share it with them. And it's based on the different products from Juice Plus. They have a range of capsules. They also have a range of complete shakes, which are vegan shakes. They're non-genetically modified. And in fact, I've got one right now, which I'm having for a little snack. I use this as a recovery shake or a pre-workout shake. Some people use it as a meal replacement if they want to lose weight. But I use like pretty much all of these products in front of you on a daily basis and have done for the last 20 years. So, yeah, I think, you know, and I've paid for it all as well. Like, I'm sponsored by 5 different companies. I get loads of free gear and have done for the last 15 years, but I actually pay for this. And I'm really happy to do that. The Juice Plus chews at the bottom on the right-hand side, those are for kids. And I'm going to talk about the Children's Health Study in a bit, because that's something that's like totally amazing as well. And I know so many kids that have been taking Juice Plus for free that have had like amazing health benefits, which is just totally awesome. So that's a brief overview of some of the products. I do a kind of separate talk, which is product focused. This is more about the business. But if you haven't come across Juice Plus before, it's the most researched nutritional product in the world. And what they found through 35 different independent studies with universities is that it reduces oxidative stress, it supports your immune system, it even protects your DNA, which is pretty rad. It supports your heart and your cardiovascular wellness. And one of the big ones is like skin and gums. Like, I know so many people that have just transformed their like skin, whether they've had eczema or they've had like ulcers in their mouth or their hair's falling out, or, you know, it's just super cool actually. And I guess this one is the most important, and that is that it reduces the key biomarkers of inflammation. And when you think about that, pretty much every disease in the world, or certainly most of them, are orientated around inflammation. So if you can reduce the inflammation in a natural and healthy way, that's pretty cool. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to invite Suzanne, who I'm going to talk a little bit about later. Suzanne was one of the first people to join Team Elevate. And I'd like to invite Suzanne to talk about, if I can just get to her and unmute her in a second. Give me a second, here we go. Everyone's muted right now, so. Hey Suzanne, can you hear me okay?
Hi, yeah, I can hear you fine.
Hi Suzanne, it's lovely to have you on the call.
Thank you.
It would just be fantastic if you could share with us, like, why did you start taking Juice Plus, and and what has happened to you since you did so?
Okay. I started taking Juice Plus because after talking about the amount of vegetables and fruit that I consumed, thinking that I actually consumed quite a lot, I swiftly realised that I didn't. And the things that I did consume were, they'd gone through probably a process where they'd been sprayed with pesticides, various other chemicals, to preserve their shelf life in the supermarket. And really, when it came to things like ripening at home, it wasn't, in my eyes, it wasn't ripening at home, it was decomposing. So I took the plunge and I ordered some capsules, thinking, why not? Nothing to lose. And at the time, I was actually very, very unwell. I had various ailments going on, which were all quite nasty, and all came really predominantly back to a sleeping disorder that I've had since birth. After taking these capsules daily for just a few weeks, instead of falling asleep at somewhere between 4 and 6 a.m. every day, I started to fall asleep at around about 1:30 a.m., which, despite having had this all my life and despite not having had all this sleep, didn't really register until someone asked me how I was getting on with it. And it was like this light bulb moment that I hadn't changed anything. I tried so many different methods to manage the sleeping disorder that I have, followed every possible suggestion that had ever been made to me, and it wasn't until taking these products for a few weeks that things started to change. And suddenly I decided, just out of the blue, I wanted to introduce the shakes as well. Now, I've never ever been a fan of protein shakes. I don't drink milk, I never have. So I don't know where that came from, but I suddenly was craving these complete shakes. So I embarked on the food program, the dietary food program, the cleanse of Transform 30. And that just took things to a whole new level for me. I suddenly, for the first time ever, found myself in a position where I had the energy to exercise. I was sleeping, I was increasing my water intake without really even thinking too much about that. And it's something, again, I've always been bad at. And I'm now a year and a bit down the line, and I'm buzzing with energy every day. I've not seen my GP or any of the 9 different consultants that I was seeing on a very regular basis, on average 2 or 3 appointments every fortnight in hospital and in the doctors, and I've not seen them now since almost this time last year, other than to request, through choice, some blood tests as a comparison to where I was, and they have all been absolutely astounded, to the point that we're sort of 5-6 months down the line of taking these. They said, we don't want to see you anymore. Bye, go away, just do what you're doing. So I, cheesy as this might sound, actually feel like I didn't really know how it felt to be alive until I started to really feel alive on taking these products. And I know, having not changed anything else, or having tried to change several other things in the past, that it's all down to the Juice Plus. So I'm really happy with my results.
Wow,
Really,
that is so awesome. Do you know what? That just makes me so happy every time I hear
Me too.
Seriously, Suzanne, it's so super cool. And it's one of the reasons why I love this business, because it helps so many people out. And if you're on here and you haven't taken JP before, you're probably going, what? And this is too good to be true. There's just no way it is. But I mean, it is totally 100% genuine. You're like, Suzanne is totally saying how it is. And I actually know a lot of people now that have got very, very profound stories of like how it's really transformed their health. And I just think it's so brilliant that, we have the opportunity to be able to help people with their health, So Suzanne, thanks so much for sharing that story with us. So let's look at different types of jobs. I'm just going to hang on a second. Yeah, different types of jobs. I mean, the way I see it, there's actually 2 types of jobs. There's 3 types of jobs on here, but I think there's 2 types of jobs. And one of them is a job that pays the bills, and a job that that can follow your dreams as well. So I just want to try and get my, so you guys can see me on there. Just bear with me a second, there you go. That's still not in there, never mind, I'll just leave it like this, that's cool. So yeah, there's, if you look at normal jobs, I mean, most people have a normal job, and let's face it, like, you're going to have a boss. You can't choose who you work with, and you're probably going to do it in the same place. You know, maybe you're on the road and you do it in a few different spots too, but usually the amount of holiday you've got is, well, it's just not that much really. You don't have much time because quite often you're traveling to and from work, and you only earn an income when you're at work. And then you've got to cover for like a babysitter or something like that, and you've got travel costs as well. And unless you're in a massive organization, the potential to progress to that upper level is quite limited. Now, another option is you can have your own business. Now, the thing about having your own business is that you've got to do everything. You've got to do all the jobs. You kind of everything but the boss. You've got to find staff. You've got to get good staff that can look after, you know, do what they want. So you have challenges with those guys. Again, it's in a fixed location. When you're on holiday, you're still working because you're making sure the business is running okay. You're basically married to the business, and the amount of income that you make is really dependent on how profitable the business is. And usually it takes about 2 years for a business to get into a position of profitability. So there can be a massive amount of financial risk that is associated with having your own business. Online businesses, well, you don't have a boss. You haven't got any staff. The people on Team Elevate have all got their own businesses. You can work from anywhere, like anywhere. I do most of my work on the toilet. Just kidding. No, I do actually. You have the freedom to travel. You can go wherever you want. But more importantly, you can work when you want to work. So if I want to go climbing, I mean, I know I'm still a professional climber, but you know, for the future, you know, it's having time freedom is crucial, or it is for me anyway, not for everyone, but I guess if you're on this call, you're probably going to be interested in that too. And also like overheads, well, you don't have any overheads, which is sweet. And the other thing is you've got access to a mentor, like you've got access to me, I've got access to other mentors as well. And it's really my role to help the people in my team to have a successful business and to help other people and what have you as well. So, I mean, let's have a look at it and see how it actually works. But before we do that, yeah, so Bill Gates is, I mean, he this quote is pretty legendary actually. You've probably heard it before, but you know, he certainly endorses this type of business. And with regards to the company, Juice Plus has been around since 1971. So yeah, it's older than me, nearly 45 years. And the capsules have been available and in market history for 22 years with $13 billion of sales to date, which is crazy. That's a lot of money. And what's really interesting is that last month, the UK actually overtook America in sales for the first time in history. Like, it's growing so fast in Britain, which is pretty outrageous really when you consider the size of the UK. There's 34 independent goal study scientific studies that have been done through universities around the world. And some of you, if you're medical, it's got a Medline impact score of 100, which is like really impressive. And it trades in like 25 countries. We're opening up a few more soon as well. And we're also a founding member of the Direct Sales Association, which basically protects your customers and it protects you as a distributor, so that, you know, everything's done above board and there's you know, you don't get into awkward situations. Something that I realized recently is that on the Better Business Bureau, which is like an American online business, there's it rates companies from A+ to J, and Juice Plus actually gets an A+, and that's completely unbiased. And the other one is the Children's Health Study, like, so cool. There's over 1 million kids in the world that get Juice Plus for free, and they can have that for up to 4 years if a parent or an adult takes that. So it's, you know, there's some pretty credible figures there. And, you know, so how does this online business work? Well, it's really about building your team. And I set up Team Elevate as a brand, and I work with the Juice Plus virtual franchise. I paid £50 to get to buy into the franchise, and that gave me 2 websites. And what that allowed me to do was to share information with customers or my friends. And both my mum and dad take Juice Plus. My brother does a bit. My wife does. Rocco does. Like basically anyone that I care about takes it. You know, not everyone does, and there'll be some people that don't just because they're old school. But so when someone puts an order on the website, then the company takes the money and they send the product direct to the customer, and then I get paid a commission for that. So I don't hold stock, and I don't take the money or anything like that. It's all done on this virtual website, which is pretty cool. And then I'm talking to other people about the different products and sharing information with them, and they're becoming customers as well. And every time I get a customer, I get paid by Juice Plus. Now, I met Suzanne, who you've all met this evening, and Suzanne was so excited about the product, as you heard, that she was like, hang on a minute, I want to come into the business and I want to share this with other people. So she came onto the team, and then she started getting customers as well. Some of her best friends are now her customers, and in fact, some of them are on the team too, like Shay and Jackie. And when Suzanne got her first customer, Juice Plus then paid her, and they also paid me a little bit as well because I introduced Suzanne to the business. So that's how it works. Another friend of mine, Liz, she's a physiotherapist. She runs a whole number of clinics down in London, and she also looks after 3 different rugby teams. One of them's in Norway. And she saw what I was doing, and she was like, hang on a minute, this is such a great opportunity to help my rugby players with a nutritional support. So she came onto the business as well. And now her husband, Rob's, on the business too. And it's kind of like, that's how it grows. It's really about building a team. And the thing about building a team is that you get more people talking about Juice Plus and the benefits of it. So what we're looking for is, I mean, number one is that we're looking for people that are likable. Because the great thing about this particular business is that you can, I mean, I can choose who I work with. You guys can choose who you work with. Like, if you don't like someone, you don't invite them into the business. It's quite simple, which is pretty sweet. But you can, you know, if we're looking for people that are teachable. We're looking for people that are positive. Like, think about people that are really positive that you'd love to work with. Great. Open-minded, like open to new concepts. Most people have a JOB. This is for people that are maybe a bit more progressive in their thinking, more entrepreneurial. People that really like helping others, like this is absolutely about helping others. And I didn't realize this for a while, but basically it's not a get-rich-quick plan. It's like you help other people with their health, and you give really, really good customer service and look after them, and you help them with their business and generate their business. It's not all about me, it's all about them and me helping them to make something which is really worthwhile. And we're also looking for action takers. Like, I don't want people that like talk the talk. I want people that like, you know, actually do stuff. So we're really looking for people that want to take charge of their lives and make something really special of it. So how does it kind of work from a percent, the commission level? Well, when you come into the business, you pay your £50 or your $50 or your €50, and you come in as a dealer, and you get 10% commission on, let's take the Juice Plus capsules, the trio blend here. Now, if you get a customer, you're basically going to earn £60 a year from that customer if they take it for a year. The supply comes in a 4-month supply, because it takes about 4 months for the body to really absorb all the nutrients and readjust and replace a lot of its cells and its blood and things like that. So that's why it comes in a 4-month supply. At the end of the 4 months, if they reorder, which most people do, usually the only reason why people don't reorder is because they haven't been looked after by the person who's introduced them to it. But because at Team Elevate, we're like really, really into customer service, it's so important to us that we always communicate with our customers and make sure that they're happy with what they've got. But if you get 4 new customers in the first month, you then go up to a direct distributor and you get 14%. And if you can get up a little bit further, you can get up to senior direct distributor, which is 17%. And then I'm a sales coordinator at the moment, and I get 20%. And you can get sales coordinator in 2 months if you move quickly and you put a lot of effort and energy into the business. Business is totally down to your input and your effort and energy. It's like the more work you do, the more you get paid. It's a direct relationship. So when you're a sales coordinator, for every new customer, you get paid £120 a year. Now, how much, with the job that you do right now, how much work do you have to do to get paid £120? I mean, do you get, and the other things that are worth thinking about is that because this is a food, people have got to eat. It doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor, you've still got to eat. And people are always going to need to eat. So if they get good health benefits from taking Juice Plus, which like most people do, and they're looked after then by the customer service, then I've been taking this stuff for 20 years. So my mum that introduced me to it, she's been getting a small commission for 20 years, So it's a very organic, growing business, which I really like. I think it fits really, really well. And then you've got other positions here: senior sales coordinator, QNMD, and national marketing director, where you get a number of whole other benefits, like you get £1,600 a month expenses, you get insurance, and depending on which country, and you can also get a school fee allowance, dental plans, health insurance, life insurance too. So there's some quite cool options there. And so how much money can you make? Well, I thought I'd make this put this together because this is the bonuses that are available. And I'm just going to move these over a second. There you go. So there you go. So it's very much in the interest of the company to move more product. So what they do is if someone works really hard and they do well and they get lots of customers, then they get paid a bonus. And the bonuses for the first position, that's £300, £900 for their next position. You can get a senior sales coordinator, can get up to £1,800 bonus. And the bonuses go all the way up here. Now, if I just close that for a second, that's £78,600 of bonuses that are available to someone who is really motivated to make this happen. And I know one of the girls who started this business when she was 18, and by the time she was 20, she had hit all of the bonuses in 2 years, which is like really, really impressive. So you also get paid commission on top of that. So there's some significant funds that you can get from this. And I mean, thinking about £78,000, I mean, you can buy a house with that. It's pretty significant. And then you've got the commissions too. Now, talking about earning potential, so here are the different levels on the left-hand side: direct distributor, senior direct, etc., etc. On here, you've got the average monthly income and then the average yearly income. And then you've got the sort of things that you can buy with those different sections. Like, so for example, like sales coordinator on average gets about £800 a month, and that can pay for your rent or your mortgage. And then you've also got the potential bonuses here on the right-hand side too. So, I mean, looking at that page, what figure would make a significant impact on your life? Because, I mean, for me, it's this one here. It's a senior sales coordinator, £1,500 a month. Because that, I just bought a house and that would cover my mortgage and give us a little bit of money left over. And Team Elevate is absolutely my go-to for paying my mortgage off. I've got a 25-year mortgage, and being a professional athlete is not going to pay that unless I can keep doing what I'm doing for the next 25 years, which I may or may not be able to do. I don't know. But with this, I'm in control, and you could be in control too, which is kind of nice because it means that you're in control of your future and you're financially independent. So how does it work? Well, how do I build my business? The key mechanics to it is that I share my story. I share my story about the products that I take and how it makes me feel and the results I've got. and also the business, the people I've introduced into the business and how it's helped them. Building relationships, so crucial. Like, it's absolutely a people's business, this. And if you don't like helping people, this is not for you. Go and do something else. Promote events. Well, you guys are watching this event right now, talking to people online or having events at home or having public events as well is a brilliant way of developing the business. And crucially, to follow up. Because if you get someone really excited about it and you don't follow up, then you're probably not going to have a future with that person. So following up is key. And also personal development. I've created this presentation to help my team so that they can share this presentation with their team as well. And if you decide that you'd like to come into the business, I'll completely share this with you too. And I have a blueprint that I can share with any person that comes into the business to help them through the stages and show them how it works. So that anyone can do it. I mean, you don't have to have any qualifications or anything like that. You just need to be someone that cares about other people, who's motivated and likable and all the other things that I said earlier on. So that's really it with Team Elevate. One thing I would like to say is I'd like to invite Laura to talk to us very briefly about her experiences. So just bear with me a second. I'm just going to see if I can get on here. So I'm going to unmute you, Laura. So Laura, I hear that you just got to QNMD yesterday. That is amazing. Congratulations. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. So Laura, I mean, can you give us a brief overview of like why you started the business and where it's taken you to now?
Yeah, sure. So I started in the business 2 years ago, and before I had my children, I had a really sensible job. Had a nice sort of 6-figure income. I had lots of lovely things, and my life was really my baby at the time was my job. I then married and had my 2 children. And decided that actually my priorities before were completely different to the priorities I now had, which was about being with my children, seeing them grow up, and having quality time with them. So I didn't go back to my job, but I've also been in the fitness industry for 16 years now. So I've been on the international presenter circuit, presenting classes to instructors, and so fitness and health has always been really important to me. And I also have a burlesque dance school as well.
Cool.
So I set up that business. So yes, that's a different one. So I had those other sort of concerns anyway. So I decided, right, I'm not going back to my job. I'm going to focus on the burlesque dance school for now. I will do something else later. But 2 small children, a dog with lots of medical issues, a husband that was always away on business, a project house, and a business to run, and classes to choreograph, and everything else. Was quite a lot going on. But my very lovely friend Kerry basically decided I didn't have enough going on and decided to talk to me about this opportunity. I have to say, having always been sort of having quite a business head, I could see it. I got it straight away. But my thing is, if I'm going to do something, I want to do it properly. I was just like, I get it, and I understand it, but I just don't have time, Kerry. I don't have time. I don't have time to do what I'm doing now, let alone trying to take something else on. And I don't want to do it if I can't do it properly. And then she just made a really good point, and that is the fact that I'm never going to have time unless I do something different. Because what I was doing, the things I was doing, weren't ultimately going to give me any difference with regards to my time and my time freedom. I'm still chasing my tail. I'm still, racing around here, there, and everywhere, like trying to squeeze in time to choreograph classes, all sorts of mad, crazy things. And it just made me think, because I was just like, right, you know what? I took a leap of faith and I thought, right, in for a penny, in for a pound. I know I'm not going to waste 50 quid by doing this. I'm just going to go for it. And, whatever happens, happens. But as you said, I've now been in the business for 2 years, and I've just done my QNMD promotion, which is ultimately going to be bringing me £3,600 bonus on top of my commission. And you know what? I wouldn't be taking home another £1,000 a month every month, by doing what I was doing before. I also am working with an amazing group of people. They're not just my colleagues in my business, they're my friends. We have such an amazing support for each other. Everybody, whether to the side, above, below, whatever, we're all about helping each other. No one's doing it on their own. No one's sat at home making this business and trying to sort of fumble their way through. It's all about teamwork, making everybody feel part of something amazing. And at the same time, we're getting the funds to have a much better lifestyle. And we know we're doing amazing things. When you get testimonials back from customers where the products have literally changed their life, it's the most rewarding thing ever.
Yeah. That's amazing. Thanks so much for sharing that with us, Laura. And thanks for giving up your time to come onto the call. Lots of really positive vibes. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So you might be wondering, it's like, how do you know if this is for you? Well, do you want to make a positive change in your life? Do you want to make a change, but you need a partner or a mentor to inspire you? Do you feel stuck in your career maybe, or your relationship, or maybe the situation that you're in right now doesn't align with your visions and your dreams? Or maybe you want to be surrounded by people that will support you, keep you motivated, and help you to reach your goals. I mean, maybe you want more time to follow your passions, like going climbing or going on holiday or going on trips, or a way of making income that can follow you wherever you go. And I think this is a brilliant opportunity for, to sort of tick all those boxes, so to speak. Thanks so much for coming on the call, Laura, and Suzanne as well. It's been brilliant to hear your stories. And I'd like to thank everyone for coming on here as well, because, without you here right now, this wouldn't be anything. But I think it's a pretty exciting time. We're right at the start of something really, really interesting. And if you're interested to find out more, connect with the person that invited you to this call. Give me a shout. I'm on Team Elevate, or you can connect on Facebook, Tim Ammett. And thanks very much for listening. And I hope the other thing I'd say is that this is not a sales pitch. This is literally a presentation to show you what we're doing. And go away, do your research, have a look at it. By all means, get in touch with me, and let's talk some more. So thanks very much for coming on. All right, cool. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
Cheers, Suzanne.
Thanks.
Bye. Bye. Thanks, Laura.
Bye.